Lovely day. Got my summer jacket on with the vents on and I'm freezing. I knew that was going to drop. When you first switch these Royal Enfields on, it shows you that you've got a full tank of fuel. But it's only when you start riding the bike, you actually move the bike, that it shows you the true reading. So instead of a full tank, I've got, excuse me, I've got half a tank. It's always the way. Okay, we'll go straight across. Oh, it's chilly in the shade. Beautiful houses round here. Nice. What people from other countries would call quaint. What we call so tiny you can't swing a cat in them, and so tiny not worth the money that they charge for them. Nothing coming. Oh, someone's got a bonfire. Oh, I do like a good bonfire. And no, I'm not a pyromaniac. I just like a good bonfire. Looking where I'm going instead of staring at the traffic coming towards me. Something about the British countryside. England, Ireland, Scotland or Wales, it doesn't seem to matter. Careful at the bridge. anybody who might be watching this in the future, I don't make these clips of film to make money. I do it just because I like to record the rides that I go out on and share them for those people who can't, maybe they can't get out, or maybe they haven't been out for years on a bike and they're thinking about it. Well, I've only within the last year, when was it? September. We're in 2022 now, so September 2021. Is when I got back on a bike for the first time in 30 years. I'm now 58 years old. Got arthritis attacking me all over the place. But here I am. Just shows to go, you done it. Yeah, and I don't make these recordings to please people. I do them for my own enjoyment. I love recording them, and then I get home and in the evenings I'll sit and and I'll watch the recordings myself. I enjoy doing that, something that makes me happy. So I do consider myself to be, oh, donkeys. I do consider myself to be a lot luckier than a lot of people, so I am grateful for that. Some people might say, well, you know, you can't be that poor, you've got motorbikes. I'm not saying I was ever poor. Watching the traffic there. This person in front is riding right in the gutters. It does make, oh, they're nearly in the hedge. It does make me wonder who it is. Could be an elderly person, but they shouldn't be riding that close to the gutters. Let's see if we can get past. So back to the point. Yeah, I make these films for my own enjoyment, and if anybody likes to watch them and enjoys watching them, well, that's great. But I'm not one of these YouTubers who go out to make a living out of it. I'm not here for people to make comments and tell me what I should do. I do what I do. If people enjoy watching that, then that's fantastic, and you're very welcome. But we should all do what we want to do, to the best that we can anyway. Obviously life gets in the way sometimes, such as work. Just saw something flash at the side of me then, where that junction road was, and so maybe there was something coming out on me, but there wasn't. Okay, cars ahead. Check mirror. Keep away from the doors. Heavy concentration. We're going straight over. No, we're not. I've gone the wrong way. Never mind, I'll turn round up here. Yeah, that was the way I was supposed to go had I been doing the big trip, but I realised it's halfway round that I should have been on the bigger bike with the big screen, otherwise it's going to be really uncomfortable. So we'll go left and do a circular and we'll go back. I've got work to do anyway. Back for the turn-in. Let's take us back past Tatton Park, back towards Ashley. That's one of the entrances for Tatton Park. Yeah, it's a shame I brought the wrong bike, but nice ride. I needed to get out anyway, I've been stuck in there for days. You never know when something's going to jump out of these hedges at you. Well, not at you, but in front of you. coming, so I'll go over to curb, watching out for potholes and grids. Come back to command. Something in the road, avoiding that. Oh, poor squirrel. Must have got hit since I went past. About my name that I chose. Some old dude. Well, I was trying to think of a name, and I was coming up with all kinds of things. Some of them were alright, some of them maybe not. And I got to a point where I just couldn't come up with anything, and I was just talking to somebody, and I said, why would anybody want to watch me riding round or doing the things that I do? Because my channel's not just about riding bikes, it's about doing things as an older person, all kinds of things, whatever I can think of. And I just said to them, who's going to be interested in watching some old dude mucking about? And we both just smiled. We just stopped dead, turned and looked at each other really quick and smiled and said, maybe that's it. So there you go. Some old dude. So if I'm going to meet somebody and they've got a friend with them and they say, oh, he's here, and they go, who's that? It's some old dude. Ouch. That was a pothole and a half. And it just seems to fit. So some old dude it is. Whoa. Whoa, that was a big smelly bin wagon, or garbage truck as they say in America. Those donkeys were down here somewhere. Excuse my coughing again. Oh, such a dry throat. Oh, I do miss running. There they are. So yeah, the whole point of my channel is to show from an older person's perspective, male, just the sort of things we can get up to. We don't have to just accept. I mean, I'm full of arthritis, have joint pains from years and years of working as a roofer before all the new equipment came in. which meant every single item that you had to either be dragged up in a bucket or carried up on your shoulder. All the concrete tiles, all the lead, everything for many, many years. And it's ruined my knees, my hips, my ankles. And I suffer a lot of pain. I mean, right now my right hand's really, really sore, but the enjoyment I'm getting from the bike far outweighs it. And no, I'm not just gripping too tightly. If you watch some of my other videos, you'll hear me talk about that. I'm constantly saying to myself, relax your death grip. But no, I don't do a lot of that these days. That was when I first got back into it. It's not just arthritis that I've got a few other things, but they're personal, so I will say that it's to do with my insides, and I suffer a lot of pain because of it. But for the purposes of this channel, I'll just leave it at that. It's not something I really want to discuss. But I'm not willing to accept defeat yet. I'm not willing to just sit on a chair and wait for it all to end. So I'm just trying to find ways of getting myself more mobile. I used to do a lot of hill walking years ago, for a long time. And I miss it. I miss getting out and about. And then somebody suggested, well, have you tried a motorbike? Of course, I said I haven't ridden a bike for 30 years. Since I had a crash in Australia, ended up under a bus. Completely my fault, rider error. But it never put me off riding bikes. I just ended up coming back from Australia, got into the whole family situation, and that was that really, for 30 years. But they said, well, I said yes, but my legs hurt and all that. And they said yes, but you don't have to use your legs really, other than to maybe hold on to the tank a little bit, and I can relax them whenever I want to. And they said give it a try, so I borrowed their bike and had a little ride around. Now I was just hooked straight away, right back on it. I said to everybody, that's it, I'm getting a bike. Because as you can tell by watching these videos, when you're riding a bike, you don't have to move your body a lot. Yes, you have to move your fingers, and I do have sore hands, but one of the physio exercises for arthritis in your hands is to manipulate your hands and your fingers, open and close your hands, and that's what you're doing when you're using the brake with your fingers. You're using the clutch, you're manipulating your fingers and your throttle. With the throttle you're actually twisting your wrist. Left wrist I just have to move it myself like I'm throttling. And as far as the brake, all I have to do on there is just turn my ankle down a bit. Now yeah, I get a lot of pain in my ankles, but the physio exercise for it is to move your ankle up and down, which is all I have to do on the brake. So I'm manipulating that, and on the other side, on the gears, exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. The only thing with it is, at my age, 58, and with all that's wrong, is that any rider, even young people, will tell you that after a few hours on the bike, you've got to get off and have a stretch, have a rest. Gives the bike a bit of a rest as well, because it can hurt. Well, at my age that happens a bit sooner than it does with the young lads. So I like to go out and ride on my own, or I might go out with one other person of a similar age. If I went out with a younger person, they might get a bit upset having to stop and stretch every hour. I mean, I have gone longer than an hour, but I have to admit it hurt. It hurt a lot. Like, terrible. I mean, all the same pains, but we get them worse and sooner than young people do. Terrible cramps. People say, why'd you do it then? Well, you can't just sit at home. You can't just sit at home and die. You've got to get out and do stuff.
Okay folks, I'm almost done now, so I'll end this ride here. Main thing I'm trying to say is, if you feel that all your days are blending into one and the years seem to be flying by, get back out there. It's still fun to be had, whether it's on a bike or some other hobby. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and leave a comment. Till the next one, bye for now.